we have a very special guest today, Jordan Bridges out of Los Angeles, California.
Welcome, Jordan.
What's going on?
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Honestly, I love you guys out of New York. Love seeing what you do. So very, very happy to join this.
No, we're so excited to have you. So why don't you introduce yourself and talk about like what areas of LA you cover, how long you've been in the business, and just give us a little background.
Yeah. Again, I'm Jordan Bridges. I'm here in Los Angeles. I primarily work in the San Fernando Valley as well as the West Side and Conejo Valley. I have been in real estate now. This is my 9th going on my 10th year in July, which is absolutely crazy. I started right out of college. Unfortunately, my house had burned down from a dryer malfunction when I was in college, and just going through those hardships, helping my mother build back the home, I really fell in love with real estate. It was a total 180. I was in DC, went to Georgetown, politics, went to University of Arizona first, but yeah, fell into real estate and never looked back. I've had some very unique opportunities in regards to opening buildings and just high premier luxury leasing buildings. And that's what really segued my career into becoming a realtor about 7 years ago. So I started out in DC and did very well, but knew I always wanted to come back home to LA. So I pulled the plug pretty early on, about 2-3 years into being a realtor, and been in LA ever since. So it's been amazing.
I love to have you because you've done the relocation thing, right? That's what this whole show is kind of getting at. It's how do you get from where you are to where you want to be that, Boston, New York, or where so many people want to go, LA. And I think it would be crazy to not talk about the aspects of relocating to LA for you, right? To go from Arizona to DC and then back to, what was that like, and why did you want to end up back there other than family?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, really not boasting myself up or anything, I don't have a problem with creating a friend group and getting to know people. So living in different cities really isn't a scary thought for me. I actually loved it. I thrived in it, honestly. I just love going out. I'm always at events. I'm very restless at home. I want to be out. And so, yeah, DC was an amazing experience. I started out with TTR Sotheby's. Love them. I absolutely love Compass, but for where I got my foundation, TTR Sotheby's was great for me. It was just coming back to LA. There were some differences where I wanted more support, and that's where Compass comes in. But relocating, that was definitely scary for me at that time, basically having a full commission business in DC and not really knowing where my next paycheck would come from in LA. But I just put trust in basically growing out my network. And I thought that would be easier and more organic and natural, since it's basically through my friends and family, through connections that I've had lifelong, just growing up in the area. And I really bet on that and bet on myself for coming back to LA. And it's just been amazing, honestly. The LA market's really great. DC is amazing too, but LA, I just love the different styles of homes. Just, yeah, there's so much more out here, I feel like.
How long were you out of the area?
What do you mean out of the area?
Like out of LA, right? You went to DC, you went to Arizona. So how long were you away? Because I want to kind of ask, the point of the question is, how did it change over the time that from growing up there, then you left, you started a new life and a new business elsewhere, and then you came back? What changed in LA over the period of time?
Yeah, after high school, it was about 9 years away from LA before coming back to LA. So about 4.5 in Arizona, then about another 4.5 in DC. The changes or basically coming back to LA, to me, LA was just a place of, and I apologize, go back to your question, Geoff.
Yeah, just how has the market changed over the 10 years that you were gone?
I lost my train of thought and I apologize. So the market, especially it's definitely different. There's differing things. DC is very condo centric, and row home, there's about, you're very constrained to the specific styles of row home, traditional Georgian, or condos. That's basically it. Whereas out here in LA, you have everything that runs the gamut, because it's just a very, very creative architectural style. The different markets though, LA, of course, it's a little bit of a higher price point, but it's just overrun and saturated with agents. So to really make a name for yourself, to really get, a share of the market, it is tough. It's very competitive, highly competitive. And I think LA, we just have the highest number of realtors as well. So you really have to be top of your game. Coming back and kind of moving markets, I will say that the threshold is definitely a little bit lower out here. I feel like there's so many agents that come into it where you really have to know who you're dealing with on the other side to make sure they're educated and knowledgeable. And DC, I felt like sometimes agents were a little bit more on top of their game sometimes out there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that, especially looking at our market here in the Bronx compared to the way New York City and Manhattan specific can be seen as two kind of different levels of expectation. And that's one of the things we've done in our business, to bring that kind of professional Manhattan style agent up to this area that's relatively underserved for that high quality experience.
Where are people coming from? Where are they relocating from to LA? And also, why are they coming? Besides the good weather.
Right. On a micro level for my business, it's really my feeder markets have really been Seattle, New York, Atlanta, Phoenix is a big one as well. As also our markets going out have really been Florida, Texas, Arizona. I think just with tax issues out here as well. You're also seeing a large exodus into Las Vegas as well. That's been something going on with the entertainment industry as well in regards to just tax credits and tax havens. But LA serves as still just a very confident market. It stays confident throughout the ups and downs. It stays active. People are always coming in. We have different things that are just seasonal that continue to attract people that are here. But yeah, the LA market, for where people are coming in and out from, it's a number of things. But I do think over last years, it's been a big tech thing. Over the past 10 years, it's been big tech because we've had Apple, Google, and Facebook come into the area. There's so many different things like that.
Does the attraction of the entertainment industry have an impact on, how do I put this? Does the entertainment industry have an impact on how people are kind of able to qualify and get into housing in such a,
Absolutely.
like, how do you help somebody who maybe is coming to LA to be an actor? Maybe they don't have a full-time job and they're trying to find their way to make it in this entertainment-based city.
No, there's definitely difficulties. The biggest thing that I chalk that up to is we had a strike, a writer's strike, basically an entertainment wide industry strike. And so that really stopped things. You forget how much the entertainment industry is part of LA and how much we lean on the entertainment industry within the city. There's so many different jobs and people that are basically hired through the entertainment industry, whether you know it or not. But just small different jobs, whether they work in it or not. There's so many things that that factor into it. The biggest thing that I chalk that up to is the writer's strike and the entertainment industry strike that happened a little while ago. You really forget how many jobs are basically powered by the entertainment industry. There's so many people that work outside in different ancillary jobs and different avenues of the entertainment industry that you really forget how many people are basically working for it. And so when that strike was going on, things really did stop within LA. And it's crazy to see. You really do forget.
So my understanding of LA is there are lots of kind of different areas, right? There's and they're all kind of close together.
Well, LA County has like 22 cities or something.
Yeah.
And that's all
more than
LA.
Right, like Santa Monica, I think, is over there. Anaheim, like, it's all kind of different and very different, right? That's all part of LA area. So, what areas do you cover, like, the most heavily? Where do you see people really finding great value?
Yeah, LA is made up of about, if I'm not mistaken, it's 88 or close to 90 distinct neighborhoods and cities. There's so many different areas. You can go a few blocks and really just be in a totally different part of town. But I think that's why people love LA so much, is because you have so many different just environments that people love and different cultures. I mean, you want the beach life, you want more of the outdoors life. Do you want the hipster life? Do you want the valley life? Like, there's even different climate areas. If you'd like to be in the heat, you can go to the valley. If you'd like to be on the cooler side, you can go down to South Bay and be near the beach. There's just so many different things in that sense, but that's what attracts so many people to LA. That's also what makes it a little bit more difficult to be a realtor within the city. I actually give my credit to the agents that aren't from LA that really learn the areas, because it's taken me, all my life to live in the areas to really feel confident about what I'm portraying and what I'm advising my clients on to buy in the area or sell in the area. But it's very different. Some realtors really only specifically work one specific neighborhood because that churns out enough business. And especially with the price points and sales volumes that you can have here in LA, it serves agents really well to cast a wide blanket or just focus on micro markets for themselves.
What do you prefer? What do you do for your business?
As a younger agent, you're really saying yes a lot. So you cast a wide blanket, you're driving all over the place. Myself, driving 35,000 miles a year, going everywhere. But now being a bit more established, 10 years in, it's really relationship based. I've really tried to corner my market to really the West Side, San Fernando Valley, and Conejo Valley. I feel like for myself, what I've been blessed with is growing up all over the city. I feel like I've grown up on the freeways all my life. I grew up on two ends of the city, West Hills and the South Bay. And so if you know those areas, sometimes that's a 2.5 hour drive sometimes. And so that's how I feel like I've been able to really have sales all over the city, even down into Long Beach, Orange County, just because I have many friends and family all over the place. I've grown up all over the city. I feel very confident in any area that my clients are looking to buy or sell in.
Next time we come to town, we found our tour guide.
Yeah.
Is the traffic really that bad?
Yeah, that
Yes.
was where I was going next.
Yes. You just have to really, yes. No, there's no getting around it. Sometimes you're just stuck in it. You have to be, but it is really that bad. It's all dependent on where you live too, where you're working. If you live and work around the same area, it's really great for you. But if you're having to drive an hour, hour and a half, yes, it can really be that bad. But you really start to learn the migrations of traffic. So you start to learn what time to leave, which way to go. You start kind of formulating your day and your schedule. Yeah, everybody does it too, if you can.
Is there an avenue to living a carless life in LA?
Yeah, what's like no public transit?
No. And I want to give LA their credit because we're going through a big transformation right now. All of Wilshire, basically, they're connecting the west side of basically Santa Monica to downtown through Wilshire on the Purple Line. And that'll be an underground metro. They're also finishing up the LAX transit. The Expo line was finished a few years ago as well, maybe about like 10 years ago now. But all of that is really built in for all of the events that are coming. We have World Cup coming. We have the Olympics coming. And really, there is a big initiative and push. Yeah. There's a big initiative and push by the city to provide much more public transportation and trying to do it quick. So we're trying to do it within the next 2-3 years, really.
What do you think, as you're advising people about these investments that are usually 7, 10, 15, 20-year holds for most buyers, how do you kind of factor in the way the city's transforming into, the valuations that you're giving and where you think values go? For example, we talk a lot about how on the East Bronx with the Metro North expansion, we see valuations on that side of the borough going up over the next 5 to 7 years because it's just going to be more connected to the city. So I'm curious how that kind of comes together for you and how you advise your clients.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hot topic right now here in LA. It's the areas in Inglewood around SoFi Stadium, the Forum, now Intuit Dome with the Clipper Stadium. There's so many other things, so many other amenities that are being offered in Inglewood that is really a transforming landscape. Over the next, I would say, 10 to 20 years, you're not really going to recognize Inglewood as much. And it's funny, I grew up going to the Forum for Sunday service. Our church was actually in the Forum during hard times before they did the whole renovations and all that for the concerts. And so it's been really great to see. Honestly, it's great for the community. I know there have been some challenges for the community, but around it, you can see it in surrounding areas. There's new developments like KB Homes in Inglewood and some other things where my clients have even bought in the area. and they're seeing their values rise exponentially throughout the years. In the Valley, you're seeing a big push towards Woodland Hills because now the Los Angeles Rams they'll have their practice center within the area, which it's already there now, but they're growing it out even more. There's an old mall that needs to be transformed that's actually connected to it as well. So, high multi-developments, you're going to have residential, retail, all of that coming to the area. And there's already so much of it. We have one of the best malls here in LA in Topanga Mall in the Valley that really attracts a lot of people. But you're seeing it without its rising home values in the center of the city. But as people unfortunately become, kind of pushed out on price points, you're also seeing the price points in the areas that they're getting pushed out to rise as well. So that's been an exponential rise over the past, I would say, 10 years in the Valley. A lot of people have been finding that as an option because they can get a bit more on the outskirts of LA.
What advice do you have for buyers relocating to LA or considering?
Really understanding the areas and I would say even rent for a year or two. It's kind of a hard city to really get your bearings and really feel comfortable within a couple weeks of visiting, or even just a couple months. I think you really have to figure out where your place is going to be within the city. Like I said, there's so many distinct neighborhoods, and especially with the different types of industries that we have within the area. I mean, it's not just entertainment. There's so many different other types of industries, especially now tech booming in the Silicon Beach area. That's what it's predicated on.
Disney or Universal?
My sister wants me to say Disney, of course. She's an exec with Disney Plus, but actually I will say Disney. It's just, I'm a Magic Mountain kid. That's the real thing. Magic Mountain is the go-to, especially when you're growing up in the Valley. It's closer. Anaheim's a bit further down, but it's fun. Disney actually holds a grad night for all the LA high schools and stuff. So I went yesterday, funny enough. Yeah, I went yesterday, funny enough. And that was the first time I'd been in 15 years. And it was amazing. It was a great time.
Nice. Yeah, we went last time we were in LA, and the next time we go, we want to go to Universal to get the comparison.
Where is Universal?
I love Universal. Yeah,
Where
Universal's
It's out there.
It's in. Yeah, it's a little bit closer. No, Universal's great. Universal's really close. It's right here in the Valley. It's in the North Hollywood area. It's really amazing. They hold many different events, seasonal things. The big thing that they do is Halloween Horror Nights. That's a really, really fun time. Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up in Florida, I always went to, Disney World. And so Disneyland was always like, yeah, I know that's the first one, but ours is bigger. But now that I finally went to Disneyland last time, we had a great time. It was like a smaller, less populated Disney World, which was really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you guys are spoiled out there. You guys are spoiled.
Yeah.
But I liked Disneyland better because I could do it all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have
you
to
can.
stay there for a fucking week and go from park
Oh,
to
there you go. Now
Yeah.
we have the explicit tag on Spotify. Good job, Aaron. This is an
Yeah.
explicit episode talking about LA.
dude.
Disney gets me riled up.
Hey, put it on. Let's make an album cover for it. We'll put the
There you go.
advisory at the bottom.
What's one thing you wish more people knew about living in LA?
Or is
I
there
mean-
a stereotype out there that you want to buck?
The cost, and then also just learning to see through smoke and mirrors, honestly. I think for a lot of people that are transplants, they come into the city and kind of just get enamored and blown away by the glitz and glamour of things. And, I'll say something kind of controversial. There's some people I like to call Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. And so they buy fancy cars and they're flashy and out and about. But, when it really comes down to it, you got to really understand who you're dealing with. And so just being here in LA has really been just a blessing to me to, have families that are from the area, to know who really has, power and control within the city, who's really making decisions that are really going a long way. I'm very invested in helping the community and being part of the community. And so being able to really, work side by side with people that are really making great decisions for the community around the city of LA has just been, that's been really a blessing to me, honestly.
Last question.
If you had all the money in the world, where in LA would you live? I know you already have your house picked out or your condo or whatever. What do you want?
Easy. Palisades on Riviera Golf Course, and I'm making enough money so I can play Riviera every day. Yes, that is my dream, honestly.
So 10 more years, we'll be there.
Gotta
5
make
more
a lot.
years, 2 more years.
It's a $500,000 initiation, and you need to be sponsored by God himself. Honestly, that place is highly restricted.
Well, if anyone can do it, I believe in you. So
I'm hoping
you'll
so.
Jordan,
It is
thanks
a
so
dream.
much for joining us for this.
Of course. Honestly, like, it's been really great to just honestly connect with you guys more. Geoff, like I said, I wish we would have had that chance during Charleston. It was just really great to have that time with Aaron and especially Andrew Lynn too. I just think it's moments like that, and especially those retreats. I will say that has been the biggest boost to my business, especially over the last year. I'm seeing the proof in the pudding. We're going over the numbers. I mean, doubling what the year was before. And it was really just taking a concerted effort to just invest more time in traveling and meeting more agents. And that's what I love to do. Honestly, it's meeting more people like you. And like I said, this industry is saturated with agents. So connecting with really good agents who are doing the same type of business and providing the same type of service is really what I'm after.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why we do this show, because we're showcasing our amazing referral partners from all over the country to our network.
Right.
So they can see that we have amazing people that we work with every day, and you're always in trusted hands.
No, this is honestly great on you all. I'm so proud of you guys because this is really a big impact. No, I mean it, because one of our things and one of my goals next year is to try and figure out a way to do more social media content and to connect with agents on a better content level. So honestly, kudos to you guys.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother.
Of course.
Yeah, and I'll see you in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Aaron and I, we have some planning to do for sure.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
No, we'll be planning already from January for sure.
Well, I'm excited for that one. I'm not missing it.
Yeah, you will be excited. So why don't you reintroduce yourself and tell people where they can find you, connect with you.
Yeah, again, I'm Jordan Bridges here in Los Angeles. My team, we service LA and beyond, specifically here on the West Side, the Valley, and Conejo Valley. You can find me on all platforms, of course, but on Instagram, it's jbridges.la. Give us a call. My website's bridgesgroupla.com, and really hope to connect with you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jordan. I'm Geoff.
I'm Aaron. We're the Aaron and Geoff team at Compass.
Your Bronx residential real estate experts.
We'll get better at this.
Yeah, this is, work in progress.
You guys are the best.